Okay, so let's have a look at IconJar 2. So I'm actually a customer. I use IconJar for managing my icons. So I already am familiar with the product. So my feedback might not be as useful. It's different feedback anyway. So I guess the first thing I wonder is what's new about version 2? Because I'm currently a user. I'm not sure if I'm using version 1 or version 2. And I could check the app, of course. But maybe you could just show me on the site. It's maybe not the most important thing to show because people that are on version 1 probably get like a window to upgrade anyway. So I'm guessing you're focusing your landing page on new users, new customers, so that makes a lot of sense. But for me personally, I would be interested to know what's new in version 2. How new is it? Like this badge makes it sound new. Also the fact that you call it IconJar 2. Many apps, they don't include their version number in their marketing because they just keep iterating and increasing the version number. But yeah, maybe you could show like a link somewhere, or if I click on here, or like a tooltip, it brings me somewhere where it shows me what's new in version 2 and maybe a screenshot of the old version. So I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the old version. I'm using the old version. It looks familiar or not. But I think, personally, I think I am on the latest version. I think I'm subscribed through Set app, which I think also always gives you the latest version. Okay, but let's have a look at the landing page a little bit more. A better way to manage icons, keep your icons in one place, just a click away. That makes sense. I think most people that don't use IconJar, they just have a folder full of icons. And yeah, okay, finding needle and haystack. IconJar leaves you digging through your design resource folder behind. So you can use icons without hassle. Okay, maybe this is like a detail, but you start the sentence with IconJar, and then it goes on about digging through your design resource folders, which is what IconJar is not about. So you say like leaves blah blah, blah behind, but if I read quickly, I might get the wrong impression because I think we're used to reading either the old way is blah blah, but with IconJar you can do something new. So you only introduce the word IconJar when you introduce the new version of doing it, the better version of doing it. Or you just immediately say how it's better without referring to the old way. And you say IconJar helps you more easily find your icons. So you don't have to dig through nested folders of icons. I would go either way, but in this case you're kind of mixing them, which leaves you with a sentence that combines IconJar with basically the description of what IconJar is not doing. I don't know if that makes sense. So I would personally rewrite this a little bit, but it's probably a detail. Let's have a look at the other things. Microsoft Intercom, selected companies using IconJar. I get why you would put this below because visually it's maybe more, how do you say, like balanced. But it does take me a little bit more time to understand what I'm looking at, like what logos mean. Like at first I was like, oh, does it work with Google or with Microsoft or with Intercom? Like for a brief split of a second, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, they probably people at these companies are using IconJar, and especially when I read this. But I think it would make more sense to show it on top. And then I noticed, and this is a detail, but details matter when it comes to a design app. The Google logo is cropped off on the site. It's not a big problem, but I mean, your app is aimed at designers, so they're gonna notice, right? And the Airbnb logo looks a little bit fuzzy compared to the other ones, but that's really nitpicky. Use IconJar with any app. Yeah, so I really like this feature. It took me a while to realize that this is possible, but you can select PNG or PNG or whatever you say, or SVG, and then just drag it into your Photoshop or Sketch or Figma, I guess. And so the dragging, I would want to see the dragging here, like show me that it's possible to drag, like you say it here, but visualize it, like have like animated GIF. I think Apple does as well. Like maybe they sometimes do it a little bit too much, but on their website, on their marketing pages, they do like some scroll jacking, which I don't like, but they do a pretty good job visualizing features. Like if you go, I think, to the macOS landing page, then they do a pretty good job visualizing things that are interactive that might not be well communicated through just a static image. And I think the same applies here. Like if you could show like a drag and drop kind of thing, and maybe like first select the right file format, maybe like vector format, and then drag it into Illustrator or something like that. I think that would make it more clear, like what the option is here. Like, of course, if you read this, then you would understand as well, but most people don't read all the text, I think. And I think like looking at the headers, use IconJar or any app. Like, so what I'm thinking is like, is this header gonna pull me in to read the rest of the text? Because if the header is not pulling me in, or the icon, then it doesn't matter what you write here because I'm not gonna read it. And I think use IconJar with any app. It's not really like talking about a pain point of me. Like it's not really a concern I have. Like of course I can use IconJar with any app. I think what it's really about is like easily, I guess that's what you're saying here. I was gonna say easily export to any file format, or easily work with icons within your favorite design app, maybe something like that. Or you could do the thing where you keep replacing app with like different names of different apps. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying. It's overused, but in this case it would make sense. Like use IconJar with Sketch, and then it changes to Figma, and then it changes to Photoshop. And then again, you're like more, I mean, you're still saying something, but you're also kind of showing the versatility of it. I don't know if you pronounce it that way, versatility. I don't know. English is not my native language. But then by showing different app names over and over, like you kind of drive home the idea that IconJar works with any app better than just saying it works with any app, I think. You can use quick drag to drag and drop icons in any size. Yeah, so this is a really cool feature, but I don't think you're really, like, I understand it because I know what you're talking about. But I wonder, would someone that doesn't know what you're talking about get it? And that's, of course, what you're trying to do. So, but I don't know. Example. What I noticed here, I was going to skip this. I was not going to read this. Because earlier you have the same design language. And here it's more of a label. But here it's an example. And because I was thinking it was more of a label kind of thing, I was like, okay, I don't need to read a label here. Example, use SVGs in Keynote by converting them to PDFs. Use SVG in Keynote by converting them to PDFs. Okay, I'm assuming Keynote requires PDFs, like it doesn't understand SVG, so you need to convert them to PDF first. It's not super clear. Like, could you maybe say this in a different way? Like, don't worry about what kind of file formats apps require. I mean, that's a little bit technical, but like what workflow are you optimizing? Like this requires understanding of how Keynote works, I think, to really see the benefits. But I'm focusing a little bit too much on the details, I think. So I'm not going to read everything. Export icons in the sizes you need. It makes sense. Bundle similar icons with smart sets. I don't know what smart sets are. again, this is a title, doesn't really drive, like doesn't really pull me in. I get it probably summarizes what's here, but it doesn't pull me in. I think a title is supposed to pull in the reader and then like get their attention and then explain in more detail how you're solving this pain point or this thing or whatever. See recently used icons at a glance. Style your favorite. Okay, that's nice. I mean, again, you're describing the feature here rather than saying something like easy access to your most used icons or something like that. Or like stop trying to find icons. I don't know. Supported by design industry. And these look kind of familiar, but not super familiar. Personal icon organizer. So I think this screenshot does a lot. So that's a testament to your UI. I think overall the landing page like looks really nice, like nice typography, nice images, nice rhythm. I do think it could focus a little bit more on the annoyances of working with icon files. Like maybe you could even show, like maybe you could ask on Twitter, right? I mean, maybe don't ask it for, if you ask it, probably most people probably respond with IconJar, but if you can ask people to show like how they're organizing their icons, people that are not using IconJar, so you need a way to reach them, which might be more difficult for you than anyone else. But let them share screenshots of their Finder windows, and it's probably going to be a big mess. And maybe use one of those screenshots or multiple and show them on your landing page. And then people are like, hey, that's me. Like my folder looks like that, my icons folder or multiple icons folders. And then you kind of show like, well, we have a better solution for this. And maybe you could like make a analogy as well. Like there's lots of apps that organize stuff, right? Like you have the Photos apps on macOS, which organize your photos, which is a better alternative, I think, to like folders in Finder. So I do actually wonder like how Apple markets that and how similar apps market themselves. I think you're doing something very similar, but for icons. What's my point? I forgot. But yeah, I think if you can kind of remind people of the mess life is without IconJar, maybe even show like a before and after, or like a transition of like have a screenshot of like a very messy desktop folder with like lots of icons, and then they kind of all how do you say, like they animate towards IconJar, and then it's all organized and your desktop is clean again. But maybe that's too much work, I don't know. One thing I am missing from the landing page is how to get the icons into IconJar. Like I believe many icon sets have an IconJar file, which is really cool. Or I could just drag them in. Yeah, do I need to tag them or not? Like with the IconJar file, this probably has a better name, I don't know what you call it, archive or whatever. I believe everything's automatically tagged, like it's all included in the archive. That's a really cool feature because I use Streamline icon set, and I think Google Material I think is automatically included, and maybe I use one more. And those have IconJar sets, archives, sets, I guess you call them sets here. So they come with all the keywords, and that's really nice. But I don't think you really tell it here, or I missed it. I mean, it's probably in here somewhere. Anyway, I don't have, yeah, that's my feedback. I don't have very critical feedback. I think it looks very nice. Screenshot does the job of communicating. You got a free trial. Oh, here's this might be one thing. This white icon is very hard. It's not very hard to spot, but the view pricing takes precedence, like it's way more prominent. I think it should be reversed. Like your goal is to get people to try it, right? And then you got a free trial, and then at the end of the trial, you upsell them or you convert them to paid. But I'm curious about pricing. Like, why not just show the pricing? This was confusing. I thought that it was pre-filled, but apparently this is placeholder text. I would make it a little lighter. Why is it showing in pounds? I'm in the Netherlands, so we use euros. So I would either expect dollars or euros, but not pounds. I don't know how much a pound is. Like, is it this? I think this is like 30 pounds, like $40, $40 probably. I don't know if you're localizing based on where I'm from, but pounds doesn't make sense for me. Like, I would just show dollars. Everyone understands dollars. And so I would probably also put the pricing below here. But maybe you've tested that. Maybe that converts not as well. And maybe include like for how long the trial is. If I click it, yeah, downloads is good. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, okay. So I already spent quite a bit of time on this one. So yeah, that's my feedback for IconJar. Like, keep up great work. Like, I use it. I'm a customer. I'm actually curious what else you guys are working on. Intercom. Okay, so it's a side project. $2.5. Okay. This is maybe something to do to check after the video. Okay, so I'm gonna move to the next one word domains. So this is something I've used as well, or at least I've gone through it. I actually built something similar myself, just for me personally, where I have like a long dictionary of English words, and I check it against some criteria like length. What else? I think mostly just I'm looking for short words or short domain names that are still available, and I got like a big script I made, and it checks for availability and expiring domain names, etc. But I just made it for myself, and I don't think I'm gonna turn it into a product. But if I would, it would be like similar to one-word domains. But I think your branding is better. Like, it's a clearer idea. But so I'm already familiar with it. I own quite a few one-word domains myself. I always have ideas for projects, and then I get the domain name, and then oftentimes I don't ship it. But yeah, so this is a product I would use, and something I've looked at a bit. So I'm not completely how do you say, like, objective, or I'm not new to this. I already know kind of what you do, so that might make my feedback less useful. But let's see, one-word domains. So the domain name itself, it's kind of funny that you use a domain hack. For me, what's confusing a little bit is that you are using a dot between one word and domains, but you're not using a dot between one and word. And that's probably because word.domains is probably taken. And then www dot kind of feels off with the domain hack like this, like you want it short. So I would have a hard time remembering this specific URL. I would remember the name, or I might remember it as singular, one-word domain or domains, but I can probably Google it and I'll find it. But the URL itself, or the domain itself, is a little bit, I think, too long, which is ironic because, well, you understand. A collection of available one-word domains for your next startup idea. I think it should be just for your next startup, right? Not for the idea itself, for the next $1 million idea. So I was actually suggesting this kind of thing for the IconJar website I reviewed just before. But in this case, I don't find it very useful because you're basically saying the same thing over and over again. and you keep moving the text, and it makes it harder to read. So I don't know if this is like adding any value. Like you keep saying the same thing in a different words, and that makes this harder to read. I also think it's a little bit small to read, and I just wonder like how much are you saying here what you're not already saying with your name? One word domains. You already explained it here, I think, especially when you show it. So I don't know if you even need this. I think you can just remove this. So here we have some domain names. They are, I don't know, they won a medal. No, I guess they're like highlighted or featured. It's not really clear to me. I would want to see a price. Like your site is about buying domain names, right? So price is important. So I guess those are like domain names that are already taken, but they're put for sale on them. So there is a price or an asking price. I don't know if it's negotiable. I would want to see it here, and I would want to know why these 3 domain names are here. Like, are they? Do people pay to promote them? In that case, I would call them promoted domains. Like you kind of want to tell people they are there because people. It's basically advertising, right? If that's the case, I think you're even legally required to state this in some countries, and I think in the EU. But I think it's just good practice as well. If people are paying to be listed here, you should point it out. And I think one word I like to point it out is using promoted, because it doesn't sound as salesy or as sleazy as like maybe ads, like or. And featured is not really explaining that people are paying to promote them, but promoted I think works. Yeah, and I want to see the price. So we have different extensions. New. What's new? This doesn't make sense. Oh wait, are you talking about these extensions? You have plenty of room. Like, why not show all of them? I don't understand. I like having a new badge on a more link is also kind of strange. I guess you mean like more extensions? I don't know, it's confusing. I would just show all the extensions. Okay, am I back at the homepage? Yeah, okay. Featured listings. Okay, so those people are probably paying to be featured here. I don't like carousels. I know I use them in some of my websites, but they're hard to navigate. Like if I'm reading this, okay, it does stay still because my mouse is over it, but maybe when it's not, yeah, it keeps moving. That's a little bit annoying. And then clicking these little buttons, you're trying to reinvent user interfaces that already exist. I think like you can just add horizontal scrolling or just vertical scrolling, like just show them as a list. It's maybe less visually interesting, but it's more user friendly. I do like that you're like kind of turning the domain name, which is just text, into more of a card. It makes it feel more tangible and more valuable. This text is a little bit small. Totally recallable. I don't know what that means. Totally memorable. Not really. I don't know how much these little descriptions are helping. They are short domain names. They should speak for themselves. I don't think you need to sell them. Like just show the price. Most popular domains. So are they available? Yeah. So that's one thing I was confused about. Like which domain names. So you're talking about available one-word domains, but then these 3, the first 3 domains you show on your website, they're not available. I mean, I can buy them, but when you talk about available domain names, most people would understand that as available for registration for nominal fee and not available for purchase from someone else. So yeah, to me that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Then here, most popular domains, are they still available, or like because of these domain names, I'm not sure anymore really what the site is about. Like, are you selling domain names that are owned by people? Or are you talking about domain names that are available for registration? Like install.co, like, I think I had a look at that one. That's not available for like a nominal fee. It's either already owned by someone or the .co put a premium price on it. But either way, like, you should show me, I think. Same for million. I think for all of these, you call them premium. I don't really know what it means. And are all popular domain names premium? This is probably a back order. Yeah, so give me a little bit more information. Tell me the price. Tell me whether it's actually available or it's for sale, or maybe find different terminology. But if you say available, I would consider that available for registration and not available for purchase. Recently viewed by whom? I'm not sure. I think these are similar domain names. The domains you just missed. Okay, that's smart. Okay, let's find .co domains. Okay, so I think this is what people come to the website for. It's kind of hidden. Okay, high premium. The theme's already active because it's purple. I would expect this to be gray when inactive, and I guess purple. No, wait, that doesn't make sense because premium purple is premium. It's also kind of confusing because you talk about height. So I can disable height. So that basically means show, right? So you're saying like kind of like minus times minus equals plus or whatever. Just, I would say, make this positive, like include premium, turn it on by default, make that purple, and then when you disable it, so then it's like I can change this, I think. I guess you get the picture, but I want to do this. Create premium. Yeah, so and this thing should be on the right, and then it's purple when it's enabled, and then when I deactivate it, when I click it, it should turn gray. I think that makes more sense. So I'm gonna hide it because I don't. And like, again, I want to see prices, and there's something going on here. I don't know. Word length. Okay, I like really short domain names. Okay, let's include premium. How about 5 letters? Fatal, it's kind of nice. Mute it. I do feel like I had a look at a few extensions, and I think your dictionary is quite short because I kept seeing the same words being available. Okay, but let's go for, let's see, say I have a new side project, I don't have a budget, so no premium, and I want to keep it short. It would be nice if I could sort by shortness or length, like some filtering and some, you already have filtering, but maybe some sorting options, alphabetically or price or, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't use any of these. All letters. Do people use this? Tech related. Would anyone search for uncategorized, or is that just here because you have that in your code somewhere? I don't think anyone is going to look for uncategorized domains. Nouns. Wait, what's the default? Is it all? Oh no, it's adjectives. Why is that? Maybe that's why I think it's a short list. All words. This should be the default, I think, right? Okay, now you're losing me. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, and so you have plural words as well. When I register a domain name, usually I wouldn't want plural words, nor would I want, is this past tense? I don't know, or present tense. I don't know what you call all this in English, but like I would want ability, absorb, accept, access, accommodation or accommodate, accompany. I don't know if this word. Accuse, not accuse. So achieve or achievement. I guess those are nouns. Asset. I don't see a great way of filtering on that. So yeah, this is getting a little bit long, this video. So overall, I really like the concept. I saw you got some press coverage as well in the domain name industry. So congrats on that. I don't know how you're making money. I think the featured listings, but hopefully also on affiliate commissions. But I mean, I'm not gonna repeat my feedback. I think you're onto something. But I think there's still some work to make it more accessible. And I guess one last thing is like, do you have like email sign up? Notify me. Like, how do people get back? Okay, this is maybe a little bit too clever. Like showing me this immediately would probably increase conversion rates because it's one less step, I guess. And join a newsletter could be a better call to action as well. Like you could play into people's fear, like FOMO, maybe a little bit. I think it's fine here. It's true. Like you could say like discover the next great domain name before someone else does. Something like that. Like join a newsletter. Like who wants to join a newsletter? Like no one. I don't care about newsletters. I care about getting a great domain name while it's still available. So I would focus on that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Hugging Face, on a mission to solve NLP one commit at a time. So NLP, I think has two meanings: natural language processing and neuralistic programming. I guess in this case it's natural, what did I say? Natural language processing. And if your target audience are developers, then it's probably fine to just say that. They will know what you mean. Hugging Face. So I had a look. I don't know what it is yet. This doesn't help me. Search models. I haven't done anything with machine learning, so maybe I'm the wrong guy to review this. This reminds me of OpenAI website. It's a little bit laggy. It's kind of cool, but it's a little bit laggy. Yeah, I don't really know what this is. Our science contribution to our journey to advance and democratize NLP for everyone along the way. Who is this for? Like developers? Like what? How is this helping me? So I can search for models, data sets, Hugging Face, horses, transformer, get a modern neural network. Okay, I want to test this. Okay, here we go. Hello, Hugging Face. Wait, nothing happens. Tab. Okay. How is it really like this? How can I think of this? You're probably screaming to screen like, no, you're doing it wrong. Do this, and then it's really awesome. But yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this. Like, I kind of like the design. Hugging Face seems friendly, even though it's like very technical. So maybe that's nice. Star. I'm not ready to start just yet because I don't know what it is. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if this is useful feedback. Maybe ask someone that works with AI, and then they are probably a better person to provide feedback. Yes, and just to give you some background, like I am a programmer. I program in Ruby mostly. I don't build mobile apps. I don't use machine learning. I don't do a lot with data. Um, so if you think it is something I should be interested in, then you should do a better job at explaining what it is. But likely I'm not the right person, so then my feedback doesn't matter. I was gonna say this is a typo, but I guess it's not HTML, it's something else. Okay, so we go to the next one. Sorry, I hadn't anything useful to say, I think. I like the unicorn. I like the typography and everything, but yeah, it's not very important. Okay, Designmodo. So I don't know if I am a customer or if I've been a customer, but I'm definitely familiar with Designmodo. I know you guys sell a lot of different goodies, guys and gals. I don't know how I say that. You people. You people. I see you all the time on Product Hunt and everywhere. So yeah, I'm familiar with the work. I am a little bit confused. Like you provide design resources and for startups, but I think you do a lot of different things. But let's have a look at the landing page. Grow your business with our website and email tools. Oh, email as well. Save time and money making websites and emails. Okay, at this point, I'm not convinced yet to leave my email address here because I don't know what you're gonna send me. Get started. With what? Like it looks cool. Like I like the typography, the different sizes of text, the colors, the illustrations, and the little animations. But like every startup nowadays tells me it's gonna help me grow my business. So it's a little bit too generic for me. Try our products for free. I like what you're trying to do with the like handwritten sketchy line, but it comes across a little sloppy in this case. I don't know why. Like if it was circled, maybe it would be better, but it's detail. Try our products for free. Okay, so what are the products? Powerful, simple email template builder. So who is this aimed at? Developers that don't want to like design something, or designers that don't want to write HTML, or just business people that don't know any of that, how to do that. I think business people, this stupid word, they might not understand WYSIWYG. So yeah, I'm not sure who you're trying to help here. I'm sure the product is cool. Website builder for animated static web pages. Make animated static website presentations. I don't know what kind of website it will be. Drag and drop. I notice here you're using spaces between it, and here you don't. Drag and drop Bootstrap template builder. So I'm more familiar with startup. I don't think I've used it myself because for some reason I like to invent all my own stuff, like the not invented here syndrome I suffer from. But I had a look at the editor and I think it looked really cool, and I like the other components that you have. Bootstrap 4 based. Oh, I was going to read this as a verb. Bootstrap 4 based templates, but you're talking about Bootstrap 4. So again, you're targeting people that are familiar with the term Bootstrap, I guess, like the CSS framework. I think 5 just was released, right? So now this feels outdated. But back to the point, you're aiming this at people that use Bootstrap then, I guess, and that are familiar with WYSIWYG. So those are technical people. But I think the product works even for non-technical people, but you're not really selling it to them well, I think. Trusted by the biggest player in the game. Okay, that's cool. Maybe color them when I hover. Powerfully simple, is that a word? Apps that anyone can use, whether you're a freelancer, small startup. Make the gears just a little bit marketing enterprisey language. Murat from Marvel. Okay, that's a good testimonial to have. This is long text. I don't know why it's. I think these should be different symbols. I think maybe bold, like emphasize the important part because it's quite a bit of text for testimonial. We were looking for something that gave our marketing team more control. Voice got super simple to use. Means we can quickly. Oh yeah. We can quickly create different emails for different segments without needing developers or whatever, or without needing to wait for developers. I think that's not what he said, but that would be nice. But maybe make this bold so I can quickly scan it. Designers. Okay, yeah, same applies to everything. Articles. What's happening here? Okay. Bootstrap 5. See, so that's out, you know about it. Start building at no cost. Jobs. So this is something else. This is job board. So I wonder, this is your main landing page, but you probably have landing pages for each individual product. Oh, so this is specifically to create Bootstrap websites. Create your site. Yeah, so I think I like this landing page better. It's more focused. I mean, of course, on one product. It really shows off the product. Shows the fact that you understand design and like animation. So if this landing page looks great, then maybe my website is gonna look great as well when I use your tool. I'm not a fan of the product name. I think it's too generic. It's like calling your website builder like website. Like, I mean, it's not as bad, but it's, yeah. Okay. Per quarter, that's interesting. Okay, this is kind of interesting. But I think I can use the site or use the builder. Wait. This is weird. I guess you're jumping to prices. But then here I don't see any way to go to the next step because my screen is a little bit too small maybe. So maybe make sure that when I click on this green button, you show me a next step. But it might be even better to just show me this step and then upsell me later. Because I think this is great. I really like this. I can actually play around and can I drag or just, yeah, okay. Yeah, so now I'm getting invested, right? Like I'm building something, I'm trying it out, it's cool. And then at some point I don't want to lose my work. So then this is part of, yeah, okay. This is the small button and then I'm here again. That's weird. So, maybe get me into this flow as soon as possible. And then maybe like after I do like 5 changes or like after like 1 minute or 30 seconds or whatever, figure it out. Tell me like, hey, you don't want to lose this, enter your email address. So first step, play around. Second step, just ask for email address because I don't want to lose this. Like save your progress, be able to come back to it later, enter your email address. And then from there, you can slowly upsell them. That's what I would try. But I don't want to tell you how to run your business. Like you have all the data and experience, but you asked for my feedback, so here it is. Yeah, so I'm not gonna review every landing page. If you want me to, yeah, you can, tell me. I don't know. There's quite a few people asking for feedback, but if it is helpful, let me know. Jobs, post a job. It's interesting. Yeah, so I'm not going to review the job boards, but that looks good. Okay, we go to the next one. ContentDrips, last one for this video. Get micro content. Okay, create personalized micro content effortlessly for your social media growth. These videos are also a way for me to practice my pronunciation. I don't know what micro content is, like tweets. Is that micro content? It seems so enterprisey, but also not. You know, effortlessly for your social media growth. So it's to grow my social media presence, I guess. Sign me up. Log in with Facebook. Well, not yet because I don't know. Video content. 82%. Blah, blah. Startups are hard. Okay. I don't know. Oh, here. What is it? What it is? I think you should switch these words. What is it? So it's a web app that lets you create micro content. Still don't know what that is. For your personal brand or business, the micro content can be a small video, or here we go, or personalized photo with a template on top of it. It's super easy and fast. There are a few reasons you should use ContentDrips. When I heard the word drip and content, I think about drip emails, where you send a sequence of emails. Like every day you send like one email all the way up to like a sales pitch. Build personal brand. It's 2020, that's correct. Personal branding is important more than ever before. Do you know? I don't know who this is aimed at. 70% of employers check your social media when hiring. So is this for like individuals that are looking for a job? Daily content. You get a piece of content. It's a huge thing to have consistent content. Okay, I know. People keep telling me you should consistently tweet, you should consistently post on Instagram. Like, it takes time, it takes persistence to build social media presence, and it's gonna like help you with your career and with your marketing and your products and everything. So I know that. So that's great. But it's hard, right? To consistently post new content, to come up with new content, and do all that stuff. So you're helping me with that. So I would lead with that. Like, don't hide it all the way here. Maybe put it all the way over here. Easy and fast, saves you time. Multiple templates. So I guess you're creating videos for me based on templates. Do I still need to write text, or how does that work? Like, it's like how Keynote or PowerPoint would allow me to easily create a good looking slideshow where I still have to provide the content, but the formatting, the presentation of it, they help me with that, and they have templates and they have animations, and they make it very easy with a nice editor to present my content. Is that what you're doing, but for social media and for different type of content, I guess? Oh, I clicked something. Create content with these templates. Okay, so this reminds me of Canva, but specifically for social media. So I don't know what's happening when I hover. There's some weird CSS stuff going on, I think. The sites disappear in Safari, it's flickering. So that's something you want to look at. But overall, I would put this at the top. So like show, don't tell. Like, don't tell me what the product's about, show it. So now I understand. You're allowing to create these kind of like Instagram hip inspirational images. Like, this is actually like on Instagram, you can't really like share text, right? So you have to put it into an image, but that takes some time and takes some effort. So you help me with that. And then on Twitter, I'm not sure how you help me. Maybe you only help me on Instagram. I now notice these little Instagram icons. If it's only Instagram, that's fine too. Just tell me, like, make it more specific. The more specific the pitch is, the better. If you would tell me like post engaging or turn your texts or even tweets, like you could make this very specific, right? You could say like turn your most popular tweets into Instagram posts, into visual Instagram posts, That's not exactly what you're doing, but if you could do that, where you automatically take my tweets, like the most retweeted or most liked tweets, and you turn them into nice visual quotes with these images, and then you would automatically post them to Instagram for me. Like that's a very clear product. And I think what you're doing is more powerful than what I just described, but that also makes it harder to explain. So I wonder if you could like narrow down exactly what you're doing and like maybe make the product simpler so your pitch becomes clearer and your target audience becomes maybe smaller, but that's fine because it can still be big enough to build a business. And when you have a smaller audience, you can personalize your communication better to them. Because if you have to talk to everyone, you're not really talking to anyone. But if you talk to one specific person, then you can really say something engaging that applies specifically to them. But you want to be somewhere in the middle. You don't just want to build for one person, but you want to build for a group of people. But it shouldn't be too big because then it's hard to get their attention. Who is it for? Most of our customers are people who are building their personal brands. I don't know how much of a thing this still is. Maybe it is, but it feels kind of like something from like 10 or 20 years ago, the word personal brand. I mean, we're definitely still doing it, right? Like I'm doing it with my yellow Twitter avatar and my Twitter bio and everything. And even this video is kind of like to help grow my personal brand. But I don't like calling it personal brand or like thinking of myself as a business or brand. Like, yeah, I don't know. If this is the language your customer uses, then keep using it. But when you talk to your customers, try to understand, try to notice the language they use and then use that. But maybe that's what you're doing. Super quick and easy. Here's how it works. Is this static image or not? Oh, these images are not loading. $5. So typically for US dollars, you put the dollar sign in front of the 5, I think, like you do here. There's a free plan too, but they have watermarks, sad face. I would remove that sad face. And not but. Like, it's kind of like you're apologizing for the watermarks, but it's fine. Like you're offering it for free. It should be exciting. Like, and if you cannot afford it, there's a free plan too with some restrictions. It's time to boost up your social. I don't know what boost up means. This is not how normal people talk. I would use a word that normal people use. Like if you're talking to someone face to face at a meetup and you're explaining your product, you're not saying like, yeah, so I help people boost up their social media content. You tell them I help them grow or increase sales by automating parts of their social media channels. Or maybe that's even a little bit bad wording as well. But boost up, I won't use that. But that's me. Yeah. So yeah, I think I've said everything I want to say. I would definitely lead with these examples. I think they're doing a great job explaining what it is, and then you can probably remove a lot of the other stuff. Okay, good luck. That's it for now. Talk to you guys later.